Welcome to Shelf Life, the monthly series where I look at games I covered about 6 or 7 months ago and let you know if they're still in my collection. And this was the rare month where I didn't cover anything on crowdfunding, so we just have 8 retail releases, each in a head-to-head matchup. Let's see how they did and which of them had shelf life. So our first game matchup is the Flippin' Right Hadrian's Wall versus the solo war game Lanzerath Ridge, and I got review copies for both of these. Hadrian's Wall is a solid Flippin' Right, more complex than what I'm used to for that genre, but it's a really strong solo game. The competitive adds almost nothing. You're basically doing the exact same thing with very little player interaction. But if you like combo-licious Euros, along the lines of some of Shem Phillips' other work, like Legacy of Ooh or Paladins of the West Kingdom, you might enjoy this one. I thought it was just fine. I don't love Flippin' Right and Rollin' Rights as a rule. And it goes against Lanzerath Ridge, the latest in the Valiant Defender series, designed by my friend David Thompson. I love these games, and Lanzerath Ridge, along with Castle Itter, are my 2 favorite in the series. This one's a little bit crunchier than Itter, with this really fun machine gun mechanic, but it's just an incredibly tense solitaire war game of dice rolling combat. There it is. And trying to survive against overwhelming odds. I really enjoy this one. And yeah, it's not really much of a contest. I'm trying to keep this and Castle Itter both. Again, my favorite in the Valiant Defender series. So just because of my taste, Lanzerath Ridge pretty easily wins over Hadrian's Wall. So that was the matchup of historical games. Our next pairing is narrative games, and the first one is The Light in the Mist, which is a beautifully illustrated tarot deck that you use to solve puzzles. And then those puzzles lead you to a really interesting trip down memory lane of this dysfunctional family and their family drama. And yes, disclaimer, I got a review copy of this one, and also I played it with my wife, so that certainly pushes it into my estimation, but we haven't quite finished it yet. When we do, I'm sure I'll trade it on to somebody else. But I love this. Is one of my absolute favorite riddle and puzzle experiences recently. Light in the Mist is just awesome. And actually, think about it now, for Lands of Galzyr, there's more in common with Light in the Mist than I thought, because this one I played mostly with my son, so lots of family playing there as well. And also, this is another one with sort of limited shelf life, just in and of its nature, because you are eventually going to see some of the same narrative stuff. This one is an app-based adventure game. You can play it solo, co-op, or competitive. And yeah, for Light in the Mist, this felt like a more kind of fine-tuned and like very direct experience. Lands of Galzyr, which I also got a review copy of, is much more kind of open world, sandbox, go and do what you want. And that's what put it a little bit lower in my estimation, but for others it might be absolutely great. And I do love the world of Galzyr. Yeah, there's supposed to be a new one coming from Snowdale Design that's a follow-up to Dawn of Peacemakers, and I really like that game, so I'm really excited about that. I'm hoping to cover that soon. But yes, Land of Galzyr, great game, but does not quite defeat The Light in the Mist, which is still one of my favorite games of the year. And the next pairing is the expansion for games I already enjoyed group. We have the Wrath of the Lighthouse expansion for Empires of the North versus the New Beginnings expansion for Paleo. And the Lighthouse expansion for Empires of the North was pretty cool. It's sort of like a slight campaign where you're playing through these different scenarios, and Empires of the North has always done solo scenarios really well. But then you're like kind of unlocking permanent upgrades and challenges. I didn't get all the way through it because I did get a little bit frustrated with it. Empires of the North is a game I don't love, but just like. But I think there is a lot here to enjoy. Although, like with other releases in this series, sometimes the rules are not quite as clear as I would like, and some of the writing has errors. Like there's a little bit of a polish missing, but still a really fun experience. Definitely something to check out if you already like Empires of the North. But yeah, is there any surprise that Paleo New Beginning is the winner in this particular pairing? Paleo is one of my top 10 games of all time, and I love the A New Beginnings expansion. It's got farming, which is already really interesting because food is harder to keep around and come by, so you have to like kind of look into wheat or animal husbandry. You can keep like pets and animals to get ongoing bonuses. Your people are stronger, but the challenges are more dangerous too. And then the most beautiful thing of all is that you can mix everything with the original Paleo. You know, if you want to have the winter scenario in the original Paleo combined with like the volcano in this one, hey, have at it. So I love Paleo, again, one of my top games of all time, and this just makes it even better. Awesome choices. If you want Paleo, the experience to be a bit crunchier, a bit more going on, this is definitely the place to go. So A New Beginnings easily wins this pairing. And the final pairing is, I don't know what connects these games. It's Heat versus Mind Management. Whatever, let's just get into it. So Heat has quickly risen to be my favorite racing game of the current moment. You know, I won't say all the time because tastes change, but I love Heat even more than Rallyman and Rallyman Dirt. Heat is great. I love the card play. I love the tension. The solo bots, holy crud, how great are these solo bots with how quickly they play? I just adore them. Definitely the best solo racing experience out there. Heat is a keeper for sure. Meanwhile, Mind Management, awesome hidden movement game, awesome deductive game. And with the app, it's solo cooperative, one of the best solo cooperative deduction games I've played. Not that there's that many in the space yet. So yeah, I thought this one was awesome, but sadly I did call it. And why did I call it? You know, I'm trying to think it. Oh, that's right. My family didn't love it. And it also wasn't a hit with like my regular gaming group, but they don't tend to like hidden movement games that much anyway. So I almost kept it just for the solo play of the hidden movement, but I've got a few others that we play a bit more consistently, so I thought I'd keep those instead. So yeah, this is an awesome game. Mind Management. By the way, I got a review copy of this and Heat. I think I got a review copy of all of the ones. I mean, most of the games I get these days are review copies. But yes, this one is great. I'm not recommending it for anybody. I think it's amazing. But Heat is like one of my favorites, and this one just wasn't going to get played with my groups very much. So that's why this was sadly a call. So 4 games kept, 4 games called, a pretty strong crop overall. But let's get to the contest and see who our winner is. Group 1, which was our historical matchup. Hadrian's Wall got 55% of the vote. Sorry, but it was pretty close. Lanzerath Ridge, 45% of you went for. Group 2, on the other hand, messed a lot of people up in the narrative category. Lands of Galzyr got 68% of the vote, and the correct choice, The Light of the Mist, got only 32%. I guess y'all underestimated how long it would take my family to finish it before I passed it on. Then looking at Group 3, the expansions. This one was pretty easy for most of you. Paleo New Beginning got 80% of the vote, while Wrath of the Lighthouse for Empires of the North got only 20%. And in our last grab bag group, this one was even easier. 84% of you knew that I would keep Heat pedal to the metal, and only 16% of you thought I would keep Mind Management. And that brings us to these lucky entrants right here. 20 of you out of, I think, around 150 entrants got it right on, got all 4 correct. And the ones in green are Patreon supporters. They get double entries. So I'm going to roll 2 D10s, the first one for the column, we'll say, the second for the row, and determine our winner. So first, the column is a 1 to 2, and the row is a 9 to 10, which means definitely think he's won at least once before. Congratulations again, I think. Charlie Taft, you are our winner for this month. So I'll be in touch to see which game you want for my collection, although I am heading to Gen Con in a couple of days, so it might take a little bit longer than normal for me to ship it to you. But thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to click the link in the video description to vote on next month's entries, and we'll see you at the next stop.